Will there be an economic stimulus bill? Will it be as big as the president promised? Will New Mexico get federal funding? And if so, how much? A lot of unanswered questions as the debate over the economy continues. One thing is for sure, though, New Mexico's economy could use a shot in the arm. Newly elected Congressman Ben Lujan from Santa Fe has been looking at various proposals being discussed in Washington and was on the line with educators in New Mexico over what may be coming down the pike for them if the economic stimulus comes true. He joins us from Washington. Thanks for being with us. Your call with educators, how did it go?
Bill, we did have a conference call with some of the members of the education community in New Mexico. We had some good participation from Shiprock and Gallup down to Santa Fe, my community of Pewaukee down that way, and others in Santa Fe and other surrounding communities.
Yep.
And I can tell you that some of the questions around them were specifically how much is New Mexico estimated to get, and how are those programs going to be administered, or how will the funds make their way into the hands of those that will be responsible for implementing programs. And so we were able to share with them that about approximately $329 million will go into New Mexico's K through 12. Approximately $281 million is going to go into infrastructure projects. We shared some of that information with them as well. 28.5 as an example will go into the Clean Water State Revolving Fund. They asked, how are these dollars going to make their way into those that are going to be responsible for them? And it's actually several mechanisms. Some of it will go to the state, into the State Revolving Fund. Some will go to local governments, municipalities and counties. Others will make its way right into local school districts. And so it's really a tier of efforts to make sure that there's going to be capital that will be available in many different ways, so that way the dollars can be put to work as soon as possible.
Well, now the hopes are high in New Mexico for that money and more, other money for transportation projects and so forth, highway construction. But we're hearing about some opposition from the other side of the aisle. What are you hearing?
Well, my colleagues from the other side of the aisle have been stating that they have their concerns. But I'll tell you, as we continue to see some of the remarks that are being made, I'll tell you, I'm not sure, Bill, how you respond to them, other than, you have to point to the job losses that we've seen. Yesterday alone, 70,000 jobs were announced to be cut, 2.6 million last year, over a million the last 2 months of 2008. Even the most conservative economists, like Zandy, has said that this package has the right amount of tax cuts and infrastructure spending, and it has the right mix. And so, even those that have their concerns from my colleagues on the other side of the aisle, I'll tell you, we need to do something to get people back to work and to do what we can to support this economy.
Well, of course, you weren't around for the first economic stimulus bill, so you can take no blame for having voted for it. But the money that went to banks appears not to have been directed in a way that's really helpful to most people.
You're absolutely right about that, Bill. And one of the things that we did take action. I'm not sure if it was last week or the week before, but it was to add additional accountability and oversight to how TARP funds would be spent and used as well. And I'll tell you, President Obama has also said that he will implement these tools into the Treasury, so that way they are utilizing the needed oversight and accountability, so that these funds can be used the way that they need to be. And so we need to hold these institutions accountable and make sure that that's going to be the case.
We look forward to seeing how this turns out. Congressman Lujan, thanks so much.
Thank you so much, Bill, and we'll talk to you soon.